he's just not a good matchup for wrestlers. Just not a good matchup, and there's no way you ever catch up.
This is the Schmo with the Pro, with the former UFC Heavyweight Champion. He's got all the accolades in freestyle wrestling. We could call him a movie star. He's Mark Kerr. We could call him a Hall of Famer. In the flesh, Sin City, Las Vegas. How we doing?
Oh, vibrational. That's it. Like, it's not an emotion, it's a vibration, it's a frequency.
It's a great frequency indeed.
Oh my God, incredible.
When you reflect on last night being inducted in the Hall of Fame, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson was right there by the side playing you in a movie, The Smashing Machine. Pinch yourself. It doesn't get bigger than that.
No, it doesn't. It's surreal's not the right word. I haven't figured out what word fits in there. It's humbling. That's usually the word I default to, because it's like amazing, incredible, humbling experience.
What was going through your mind last night?
At first I was literally reading and I couldn't read. That was the incredible part. Like, literally the adrenaline when it kicks in, if I'm not breathing, you hold breath and I'm like, oh my God, I can't read. And then everything just started to flow, and it was just this, it was great, man. Everybody in my family was there, and it was great to share that with them.
Through this entire movie process, what surprised you the most about Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson obviously playing you?
He's just a very unique human being. He has a sense of compassion. He has a sense of, when he was doing all this, just real reverence and care to make sure he gets all these details right, about fighting technique, about my patterns, how I speak, how I walk, how I talk. I mean, he morphed into something I was like, I couldn't believe it. Literally shocking with all the prosthetics, my cauliflower ear, crazy.
What mannerism or what in particular did he do that seemed exactly like you, above all?
So, you ever listen to your own voice, right? And you go, is that how I really sound? So, first time I heard him speak like me is one of those where I'm like, oh my God, that's how I sound. And it was this just shocking moment of like how much time he put into developing this, because it just doesn't happen by accident. It's one where I could look at it, watch it, and go, oh my God, that takes a lot of patience. It takes a lot of effort. It takes a lot, and he did it.
What do you think is the biggest difference you see inside the octagon from these UFC fighters in this generation compared to your generation of fighters?
They're professionals. Like, straight up, it was part of what I was talking about earlier, is like, as a wrestler, I didn't have a bunch of paths coming out of college. I was going to either be an Olympic wrestler and if you did a 4-year Olympic cycle, you didn't make any money. And so when I got into fighting, it was to be a professional, to carry myself as that, to give other wrestlers behind me a path to follow. And then watching the guys now, they are straight up professionals. This is what they do day in and day out. This is how they make their living, and it shows up in the ring. It's incredible.
Thoughts on Jon Jones, the way he's retired? Unceremonious, caught everybody by surprise.
Yeah, it's not about him fighting Masvidal. It's not about that. It's about something else. Because as a fighter myself, the second that you lose that kind of fire, and it's not the fire to fight, it's a fire to train to fight, you got to step back, because it's not the way you want to go forward. So I would love to see him fight again. Whether it happens or not, he's gave me plenty of fights of like watching enjoyment, like watching him do his craft. Incredible.
Who do you consider the greatest UFC heavyweight of all time?
Oh man, it's Jones. It's just, even though he's a light heavyweight and went up to heavyweight, he could have fought either one. Part of what is unique about him, he's fighting other skilled fighters, and when he was at his peak, he made the other fighters look like they had never fought before. He's just incredible. Like, as a technician, as an athlete, all of it. I just watch him. It's like watching Tyson. When Tyson was at his peak, you're like, oh my God, what am I seeing? I've never seen that before. And that's what Jon Jones brought to the table.
Speaking of Tyson, transitioning to the boxing world, a big matchup between Canelo and Crawford. How do you see that one playing out, Mark?
Oh my God, I love Canelo. I really do, man. He's, if you're going to say boxer, like one of my favorite, besides the classics, like Evander Holyfield, Mike Tyson, Frazier, Ali, all that. Like, he's incredible.
How does he put him away?
I think he's just going to outbox him. I think he really is. I think he has a little bit more power than Crawford. Hopefully that's how it plays out because, Canelo's a dog. He's a dog, man. So.
Does it go to the judges' scorecard? Do you think he puts him out?
No, I think he puts him out in the late rounds. I think he's going to put him out, I'm going to say, between probably the 8th and 10th round.
What's the best thing that the boss man Dana White's ever said to you, Mark?
Actually in Newark, one of the things that I said to him is I said, look what you built. Look what you built. And I said, no college education, no business degree, no law degree. Look what you built. They didn't think you could do it. And he just pulled me and he looked at me and he said, that means a lot. Thank you. And it was just one of those moments where nobody thought that he could do this. And he did it.
What's next for you?
Preparing for everything that comes with the movie release and everything that comes after it. I have a book proposal that I'm working on, and just some other things around fighting. I like to actually mentor some of the younger guys.
What are some of the younger guys that you want to mentor?
Well, you know what? And Sean O'Malley lives in Phoenix where I live, and I've had a couple conversations with him, but nothing of length. It's one of those things where it's like, I know what it's like to be defeated when you're at the top of your game and how that wears on you emotionally and mentally. And sometimes it's the loneliest place on the planet, and a lot of really good fighters have trouble working their way through it. So, it's just one of those conversations I'd love to have with him.
Do you want to see him go up to 145, or what would you change?
I think he'd be better at 145. I do, because it's just one where this is just my opinion that he's just not a good matchup for wrestlers. Just not a good matchup, and there's no way you ever catch up, right? So you need somebody else to beat, and then Sean needs to beat that person. It's just how it works if he stays at that weight.
So what would be the first thing you work on with him?
First thing you work on is just, it realistically is just defense, your takedown defense. And you can get better at it and efficient enough at it to where you can actually take control of those little moments. And he was starting to do it, but then all of a sudden it's like a wrestler stepped in. And I say wrestlers hold you where you don't want to be held for as long as they want to hold you, and you can't do a fucking thing about it. That's a wrestler.
Final message for all the Mark Kerr fans out there worldwide.
Thank you. Thank you for your support and love. And it's well received.
He's the pro. I'm the Schmo. UFC X. Check out the Smashing Machine. Coming here shortly. We're out.